Raider Nation, what's going on, guys? Let this video be a warning. I'm going to get right into this thing because I'm still fired up from this win in Kansas City. Let this video right now be a warning to the rest of the NFL. Don't sleep on the Las Vegas Raiders. They're coming in right now in their 2020 inaugural season. Absolutely fired up, and I'm here for it. I am totally here for it. We haven't seen a football team like this in the silver and black probably ever, or at least in a very, very long time. Longer than, any of us around my age have watched. So it's time to get amped up. Don't fall asleep on this team. I tell you what, get caught slipping, Arrowhead. So, like I said, don't sleep. Let's get into it. First and foremost, the reason that we are winning these big football games, the reason that we were able to go into Arrowhead last week and beat them in a shootout is because we have a quarterback under center right now that's playing MVP caliber football. Yeah, I'm serious. MVP caliber football. He keeps this up through the rest of the season, you take him as a serious candidate because as of right now, he has the 12th most passes in the NFL. Pass attempts, should I say, not completions. Pass attempts. The 12th most pass attempts in the NFL. And with those, not even being in the top 10, he's first in completion percentage. Shocker. He's top 10 in yards still, top 10 in YPA, top 10 in touchdowns, and he's one of only 6 quarterbacks to throw 1 interception or less. Oh, yeah, and he's top 5 or top 6 in passer rating as well. And it all still goes the same for playing under pressure. All that big narrative of, he's scared in the pocket, can't hang. He's still top 10 in all those major categories under pressure this season, according to PFF. Throw that narrative out the window. He has the best deep ball passer rating in the NFL right now. That's right. In his passes sailing over 20 yards down the football field, he has the best deep ball passer rating through these 5 weeks. 143.8 NFL passer rating right now on the deep ball. Absolutely ridiculous. And he's doing this all behind an offensive line that's getting healthy again. An offensive line that week 1 and week 2 was considered easily top 5. They were number 2, I believe, through 2 weeks in pass blocking efficiency. So they go through this little injury struggle. Of course, they've been rotating a right tackle anyways. We go through the left guard issues. We've had some injury issues, okay? So they fall off a little mid-pack. Derek's had to deal with a lot of pressure, quite a bit of pressure, to be honest. A little bit more than I think we'd like to see him deal with. Although he's taking it well, he's still dealing with a lot of pressure. Coming back after the bye week, guess what? We're getting Richie Incognito back. Last week, we just saw Trent Brown step up in a big way and play some big boy football after not playing in almost 8 games. So this could be the first time in, if I count right, 8 or 9 games that we are going to have our starting 5, our main starting 5 guys out there on the football field against Tampa Bay. This will be the first time we see our offensive line since towards the end of 2019. And I'm all the way fired up. We saw him, for 3 snaps or something, I believe, week 1. Not enough. I'm saying we're playing for some football games from here on out. Now, Derek Carr playing MVP level behind a big, beefy line. And where we're dishing this ball out to? A very talented group of wide receivers. And I can definitely say that this is not a group of wide receivers that we've ever seen before. Yeah, I get it. We had the Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree days. This is better. Henry Ruggs. This is Derek Carr. I get it. It's a small sample size. Derek Carr has never had a wide receiver like Henry Ruggs. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's just getting warmed up. As fast as he is, as handsy as he is, as lethal as he is, as much as he's opening up this offense, is absolutely nuts. Henry Ruggs is going to be the biggest weapon that Derek Carr's ever had in his career, and his health and his availability is going to be crucial to this football team. Absolutely. When talking receivers, I'm absolutely throwing Darren Waller in this mix. Absolutely throwing tight ends in this mix. Except you, Jason Witten, and your 3-yard screens. Gosh dang it, Jason Witten. But anyways, back to Darren Waller. Darren Waller being a guy that is, I will say it, the best tight end in the league. And okay, whatever. You start throwing numbers out. Whatever. Go ahead. Yeah, he's not going to be the best fantasy football tight end. You know why? Because we're playing in a high-powered offense that dishes the ball around everywhere. Okay? So if you want to go get your tight ends that rely on your quarterbacks like a Mark Andrews, stuff like that are getting higher workloads, go ahead. You line these guys up. You line up the top 5 tight ends next to each other in stats. Darren Waller is going to be a bigger physical freak than every single one of them. Absolute stud. Absolute stud. He could be our best receiver on the team, dang near. So, on top of Henry Ruggs, there's a good problem to have here. Because we started off the season with Bryan Edwards earning the starting job. Now we have Nelson Aguilar, who in my opinion, like a speedy Michael Crabtree, right? I think it's Michael Crabtree and his smooth, silky route running, but with a little bit more top end speed on him. Nelson Aguilar has that deep ball threat like that where he can get down the field and he doesn't have to be as wide open. You can throw him open. So he is now, even with Bryan Edwards coming back, I see him, of course, eating into those snaps, but that's Nelson Aguilar's job to lose, in my opinion. So he's going to keep getting those snaps. They might split them. They might go hand in hand. They'll be staying fresh. We'll be getting different looks on offense. It's a good problem to have. I'm really not worried about who's technically like starting at wide receiver too, because you're going to have every single one of these guys in their own roles and their own packages. And, of course, now we keep going on the list. Hunter Renfro, Derek's go-to guy, doesn't even have to take that many offensive snaps because of all the weapons we have. We still have Zay Jones, a guy that is probably still Derek's, he hasn't built more chemistry with another player this offseason than he has Zay Jones, and he's just sitting on the bench waiting to go. So our wide receiver group is absolutely there, and that's why the offense is tearing it up the way that it is. Now, the final element, and something that doesn't have to be the complete workhorse like we thought it was going to be, through last year and starting this year, and that's the run game. Josh Jacobs coming in here as a lethal threat, but it doesn't have to be carried on his shoulders. We're showing that we can throw the ball and we can win football games. And we can save Josh Jacobs because there's a surprise signing, a surprise breakout in Devontae Booker that's able to take the load off of Jacobs a little bit, and we can open up the game and establish the run with him. We can throw the ball all football game, and if we need to close it out with Josh Jacobs and ground and pound and control the clock and in the game, keep that ball in our hands, we'll have a fresh Josh Jacobs because he's not out there getting 50 touches a game. I'm telling you, the offense is all the way fired up. The offense is all the way fired up, and that's why we were, I will say, easily a top 5 offense right now. I said we'd be a top 10 offense in the league this year. I'm saying we are now a top 5 offense in the league, and at this point, we are playing against the best passing defenses, looking like the best passing offenses those weeks. And when you jump over to the defensive side of the ball, this is what we're relying on here. We got a little bit of a shaky pass rush that really picked up some steam here in Kansas City. Really got Patrick Mahomes worried and got him escaping the pocket really soon. So hopefully quarterbacks go into the scene like, hey, okay, maybe I need to watch this pass rush a little bit. Hopefully it gets in the back of their head a little bit because that's the only way we're going to establish this thing. If we can show other teams watching film that we can get pressure on the quarterback, then maybe it gets in the quarterback's head a little bit. Max Crosby's starting to feel himself. Hopefully now getting, obviously, Mo Hurst, who's been on the COVID reserve list, back. Getting him back is going to be huge because he was a standout player, I think, on our defensive line, in my opinion, outshining Malik Collins, who was supposed to be like our premier defensive line signing. So getting Mo Hurst back is going to be absolutely huge. Obviously, Malik Collins will be returning back from injury. We still have Hankins. And then, of course, we have Cleveland Farrell still finding his role. We have Arden Key, who's also being versatile. Both those guys, Key, Farrell, even Nassib coming in, little minor foot injury. I'd expect him to be ready to go for the Bucs. But all these guys on a good rotation, finding their unique roles. I feel like Gunther and Marinelli are finding good uses out of them. And that stellar defensive play, I think, is definitely saving Gunther's job right now. And I think that we're getting a little bit more sprinkled in of Marinelli than we know. I think, it's just we're finding a good combination right now in that defensive coach room to make ends meet right now for defense and close out some football games. Our linebackers are starting to mesh. I'll tell you the main reason I think we picked up this last week was because we got Nick Witkowski back. Getting our green dot guy back that's been working all offseason to be our green dot guy, and he'll finally be there. And he's been there this last game, I think getting near 100%. So going through another break, a bye week is perfect for him, and he can get back out there and be 100% ready to go and keep making impact plays. Corey Littleton, I think, is still looking for his role. I think it needs to fall on Gunther to be a little bit more creative with him, not just stick him on a tight end and expect that to be his role. No, I think he needs to be versatile. I think we need to have him climbing all over the football field. I think we need to have him kind of being a do-it-all guy and you not know where number 42 is going to be on the football field. And finally, our secondary, they can be top 10. They're big hitters. We saw a little rotation out with Eric Harris, Jeff Heath getting inserted, having, I would say, a game-sealing interception out of Jeff Heath. Jonathan Abrams still laying the hammer. Trayvon Mullen proving that he can be a top 10 corner in this league. And, of course, on the other side of the ball, we're going to be waiting for Damon Arnett anytime. John Gruden seemed kind of hopeful. I still don't quite see him for the Bucs, but I definitely see him for the second half of the season. And for me, that's all that matters. So between this offense that is absolutely on fire, this defense that has the talent and the ability to pick up steam and be a middle-of-the-pack defense to at least just help us create some turnovers, help us get some key stops, help us step up and be clutch and win some football games, you better not be sleeping on this Las Vegas Raiders football team. I tell you what, we're coming in hot. We are coming absolutely hot. And the Raiders are returning home. And it's going to be fun. I tell you what, playing Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next. Our schedule favors us a little bit more, but you can't sleep. You can't get in those trap games. We know what happened to us last year. So it's time to keep this momentum rolling. Raider Nation, enjoy it. Do what you can under the certain circumstances. And, of course, be looking for me to be making another trip to Las Vegas November 22nd, I believe, the next time the Raiders play the Chiefs. So keep an eye out. Of course, you know the place. Stage Door Casino in Las Vegas. That's the only place you're going to find me because that's Raider Nation's go-to bar. Raider Nation's go-to spot. That's where we hang out. That's where we watch football games. That's where we have a good time in the silver and black in an authentic place just for Raider Nation. So, got me all amped up again. I will make sure you subscribe. Oh, yeah, let's do that, right? I get all caught up in this stuff. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on those bell notifications because I'm going to be going live again every post game. Maybe do a live show this weekend. I don't know. I might take the weekend off. Take a little break. I'll keep dropping videos though, so make sure you subscribe like I said. And I will see you guys soon. Later.